This table summarizes a lot of the materials that we just talked about with mutual funds and ETFs. And so what I have here are 4 different rows, one for active open-end funds, one for passive or index open-end funds, one for closed-end funds, which are all active, and one's for exchange-traded funds, which are all passive. And so let's just look through each of these columns to see the characteristics. So exchange-traded, no for the open-end funds and for either of them, but yes for the closed-end fund and for the ETFs. Can you take a short position in the fund? Yes, because they're exchange traded and they trade like stocks. I can short the closed-end fund and the ETF, but no, I cannot take a short position in an active open-ended fund or a passive open-ended fund. I can either buy it or sell it. Sorry, buy it or not own it. The net asset value relative to the price, because the open-ended fund will issue and redeem shares each day at the NAV. The price is always exactly equal to the NAV, at least once a day. The closed-end fund is likely to trade at a large premium or discount for reasons we spoke about earlier. And the ETF, because of the authorized participants, is likely to trade at a price equal to or very close to the NAV. So what about management fees? So the active funds will both charge higher management fees, and the passive funds, both the passive open-ended and the passive ETF, will both charge lower fees. What about front loads? The active open-ended fund may charge a front load to get access to the manager, but the passive and the closed-end fund and the ETFs don't charge a front-end load. These don't because they're exchange-traded. The CEF and the ETF are both exchange-traded. For a back-end load, again, an active fund might charge a back-end load, but the passive and then the exchange-traded ones do not. 12b1 fees. So 12b1 fees might be charged by the active fund and maybe the passive fund as well, but the closed-end fund and the ETF do not charge 12b1 fees. And then the question is, are the assets held by the fund traded? Is it the case that holding the assets, do these funds trade the assets that they are hold? And the active fund is yes, the passive fund is no. Active yes, passive no.